This video is brought to you by the FarmerKlein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Terschelling. But before that, this video is brought to you by Corpnut and Dranger Overlander. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Terschelling map, thank you Google Translate, can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, if you happen to download this map off the Giants Mod Hub website, do remember there are 15 required mods that you will also need to download. If you download this map via the in-game downloadable content menu, then it will download all of the required mods automatically for you. If there are any mods that you happen to forget, when you do load up the game, it is going to prompt you and ask you if you want to go ahead and download all of those required mods, and then it will do that for you as well. Now let's read a little bit of the description. This is a Dutch map based on the island called Terschelling. There are 48 fields, 2 sell points, a small BGA, custom-made license plates, custom textures, custom color grading, 4 farms, and a map author. Hopes you have fun. Let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps as additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. In addition to that, we have the required mods of a 60 kilowatt BGA. We have the bunker silo set. We have cowshed 3+0, cowshed pack, Dutch contractor shed, Dutch pig shed, Dutch shed pack, a farm silo package, fuel tank pack, modern shed, old cow shed, old farm package, placeable dairy farm package, sell everything, slurry storage, and that is going to be it. Let's go ahead and load on in. I will tell you, if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find the map looks exactly how you see it here in new farmer mode, with the exception that you do not own any land. You will need to buy any land that you wish to make use of, even the land that has the 4 farms on it. If you try to make use of the 4 farms while you do not own the land, you may be able to open the sheds, but you will not be able to do anything with the animal areas. Now, when you load into the map for the very first time, you're loading in here to a welcome screen. Welcome, traveler, to the Terschelling. Thank you for coming to visit us on our beautiful island. Of course, hopefully you will like it and make this place your home. Pack your things and go to the gas station. Maybe you can ride with them. Okay, well, let's pick up our bag and just make our way over here to the gas station. And, oh, what's this? This map does include the 20 game cartridge collectibles that are part of the Holt Belleroon map. Well, I don't see anyone to get you ride with. Guess we missed the ride. At any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. This is a smaller sized map. So a standard PDA is going to basically be the blue area. So you can see that we are working with an area that's maybe about a quarter or a little more than a quarter the size of a standard map. This map does include all the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22. Take a look at the lands area. We'll see we start out by owning land 31, which is the main starting farm. That can be bought for a whopping $902,000. In addition, we own farmland 30, which is a meadow, field 25. That can be bought for $32,700. Then we also own large field 26, or farmland 26, which is $140,000. In addition to that starting farm, there is a dairy down here at farmland ID 5 that can be bought for $472,000. We also have another farm located here at 55. It is another dairy for $282,000. We have a sheep area that can be purchased here. I believe it is located possibly in farmland 56. We'll have a better idea later. $144,900. We also then have farm ID 38. That is a farm for $691,000. I believe farm ID 38 is a pig farm. We basically have a pig farm and we have a couple cow farms on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. Farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any field or fields, which fields they happen to be, and then ultimately how much that farmland is going to cost us. See, we've owned farmland 26, 30, and 31 at the start in new farmer mode. We just slowly scroll through the rest of the farmland listings here. Take any note of any fields that you may be interested in, because we will be taking a look at our field calculator screen next. And the field calculator screen is going to show us all of the viable fields and how large these specific fields are, because we all know that the field sizes can differ from the viable farmland sizes that the fields are connected to. Taking a look at our crop counter, we do have what appears to be the standard crop counter available on this map. Take a look at our prices screen. You will see that we do have the ability to sell most of, but not all of the crops that we can grow. For whatever reason, even though we have the sell everything container from Schultz Modding, we can't sell grapes, nor can we sell honey. When we get down here to our production, you're going to find we do not have the ability to sell honey. We do have the ability to sell eggs, wool, and milk, which is always good to see. Wood chips, silage, hay, straw, and grass. And as I said, when we come down here to our productions, we are missing the ability to sell honey as well. So with respect to the scoring metric, can we sell all of the base game crops, products, and production outputs? The answer is no. We do have the ability to sell lime, but we do not have a bulk buy point for lime. And we can take our stones down to the sell everything container. With respect to the platinum expansion, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the base game and platinum expansion productions. Not quite base game, sorry, honey. We're still missing honey. We do have the ability to sell all of the platinum expansion production items, so we will be putting the platinum expansion graphic on our thumbnail. If you do happen to be playing this mod with pumps and hoses, then we also have 2 sell points that will take our separated manure. Taking a look at our vehicle overview, everything is new, none of it is leased, and for the most part, everything is sitting here at 0 hours. We do have the cow barn on the starting farm, but it doesn't have any animals in it. This map does include contracts. We do not own any production chains at the start, and as I said, we have the 20 game cartridge collectibles that are available on Holt Belarun. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We start out with the Valtra A105 High-Tech 4 small tractor. We have the Massey Ferguson 6713S medium tractor. We have the Schaefer 4670T telehandler. We have the John Deere Gator. We also have the Welger DK115 trailer. We have the Servo 25 plow. We have the Torino 3FX cultivator. We have the Nordstein HK25 NS 3030 power harrow and seeder. We have the Falcon 3 planter, the Amazon ZATS 3200 fertilized spreader. We have the Aerostar Exact 600 weeder. We have the Kuhn front and trailed side mower in the GMD 4411 and the GMD 3123F. We have the GF 8712 tedder. We have a Z2 Semez 840H windrower. The Zelon CFS 2501 DO forage wagon. We have the small baler in the Massey Ferguson 1840. We have the RA142 feed mixer. We have the silage roller from Flegel for silage compaction. Then we have for our telehandler, we have the pallet fork, or we have the fork with grapple and the universal bucket. We've got a 750 kilogram front weight, and we have the Brockman KK 3018 27H trailed trailer. Now, one thing you may notice, typically in our starting fleet, we typically have a harvester. We do not have a harvester with our starting fleet here on this map. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. You will see that there are no vehicles or implements that are modded that are part of this particular map. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly tab over to a vehicle at our starting farm so we can do a little bit of a farm tour here. I'll pull up the main mini map so you have a general idea of where we are. And let me pull up the map on this screen. So this is where we started. Right there at the gas station. And now we are down here. In fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at our precision farming soil map. This map is making use of the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. So here we are at the starting farm. Our farmhouse is just up the way. We tabbed into our telehandler, which is actually inside of the cow area. Now we have 2 silos here. Both of these silos are equipped to hold either seed or mineral feed. So we can put seed in one, we can put mineral feed in the other. We can put seed in either or mineral feed in either. We have our slurry point. We also have a slurry storage tank over here. We have 2 silage bunkers. They both have triggers. There's our bale trailer hidden away. We have more of our machinery. We have a fuel tank, power washer, and then the farmhouse is also a little bit of storage going on here. Here we have our animal trigger. So we can hold 80 cows in this facility. We have our milk trigger. And then we have our sleep trigger around the other side of the farmhouse. Now, with respect to being able to sell things at the main farm or even the other farms being customizable. I will tell you that the buildings on this farm can be sold in their entirety, but there are various decorative elements scattered around the farm that we cannot sell. We do not have the ability to get rid of any of these hedges or fences. This car is permanently placed here. And then all of these decorative bits, for the most part, that are between the shed sides, the silage bunker sides, they are all permanently a part of the map. So while we can sell the buildings, a lot of these decorative elements, including this tire, are built in and we cannot get rid of them. We do also have the ability to get rid of these half-pig loops. Let's go ahead and take a look at our ground textures. So if we go in here into build mode, since we do have so many required mods, we will be having some custom buildings that are in the sheds, as well as silos. We have our fuel tanks and our farm silo package here under containers. Then we have some farmhouses that are, again, part of the mods and map. Silos, we have, we already looked at that. Under production, we do have a placeable 60 kilowatt BGA. We can also buy the BGA and sell that as well. We want to make use of that land in another way. We have our sell everything sell points. And then we have standard greenhouses, orchards, and generators. We do have our custom animal buildings that are, again, part of the required mods. There is a custom sheep area that is up on the hill. We do not have the ability to place that back down. We have all standard decorative elements. We have our placeable dairy farm deco package there. Then under painting, we have a few textures. Fairly standard FS22 textures. We have our animal mud, our asphalt, concrete, dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass, gravel. We have then rock and granite. Now, sadly, we don't have this paver texture. that we have at the farms. It would be nice to see when map authors make use of textures on the map, they include the ability for players to paint those same ground textures. As far as trees, we have some custom trees. And then we also have a few custom plants and bushes. Although these do look awful standard at first glance. So we have our ground textures. I'm going to go ahead and buy the other farms. Then we'll get on with our aerial tour. Take a look at each individual farm during our drive around. Gain a little bit of altitude. And we are facing north, and directly north of the starting farm, again, is another one of the 4 possible player farms. Overall, this is a flat map, as we may expect with a Dutch map. There is a river kind of cutting through the map, and directly south of the starting farm, we also have a player farm. But we're going to loop around and make our way to the north. Below we have a pig farm. And again, we're going to take closer looks at that during the drive around portion. We have our sheep meadow here on the hill. We've seen this detail a few times on Dutch maps. As we make our way across the northern edge of the map, we kind of have this water break. Got some fields over here on the ocean's edge. We have our gas station, of course. Our BGA. And again, if we buy the BGA, we can sell it and then put down our own BGA, a la pumps and hoses. Or we could make use of this land somewhere else. Now, with respect to production being built into the map, this map includes one production item. That is the biogas plant that we just saw. So we are going to be a little judicious with our points for the biogas plant and for the production. We're going to hold back 1/4 of a point. So we're going to give the map 3/4 of a point for production being built in and or areas set aside for such, because we have just a single production item being built in there, and we really don't have any other place on the map that we could put down production without sacrificing either farmland or buying one of these farms and hoping we can delete enough of the buildings and deco elements around it in order to put down what we want. So here we have another dairy. And again, we're going to do a closer look at all of these during the drive around portion. Make our way down to the southern part of the map. We have the sell everything container here at what would be the dock. We have our 4th player farm. And then we'll loop around over here to the vehicle shop. The vehicle shop is a rather interesting layout. Where the main shop trigger is here at this parent house. Didn't really want to collect that collectible, but at any rate, there we go. And then our customized repair, sell, paint, and trade trigger is located here under the shed. Now, what we don't see is where exactly that trigger is located. So it's located here right beside it. It would be nice to see the corner markers here letting us know exactly where that trigger is located. As far as our spawn point for new vehicles, that is located over here. It does appear that we have a fairly large area for our vehicles to spawn in at for the given size of this map. Let's go ahead and head on out. I think what we'll do is we'll head down here to the south and kind of maybe make our way around in a counterclockwise direction. So here we are at the southernmost player farm. And this farm has a cow barn. We have our milk trigger there. We have another seed or mineral feed silo located over here. A second seed or mineral feed silo located on the other side of the barn. We have our animal dealer trigger. We could put 70 cows in this barn. We have our slurry point. Then we have our food trough. Here inside, this is also where we're going to be putting our straw. Now, one thing to note about this particular farm. For whatever reason, this large shed cannot be sold. This shed is permanently embedded in the map. We can sell pretty much all the other buildings here at this particular farm, but we can't sell this shed. Got our fuel tank. We once again have a farmhouse slash storage shed. But what we also are going to run into is if we sell the farmhouse, this little awning roof area that has clearly been added, it is going to remain. We do not have the ability to sell that, nor do we have the ability to get rid of some of these decorative elements that you're going to find scattered around this particular farm. And then we have two silage bunkers located all the way here in the back past this large shed. And those do have silage triggers associated with them. Now we made our way over here to the sell everything container. We have one of our two sell points located right there. And we'll make our way north on this road. This should take us up along the second player farm that we're going to take a look at, as well as the biogas plant. Ignore my bad driving. For whatever reason, my steering wheel seems to have developed quite the dead zone, and I'm going to need to take out of that. Here we have a small cow shed. Actually, this is the animal dealer and a cow shed. Very, very confusing. So this one will hold 35 cows, but the first pall is actually the animal dealer. So we have our food trough and a straw trigger for the 35 cow building. We have our slurry point. Fuel. And then over here we have, well, we have the two silos once again that are most likely seed and mineral feed. But the way that these are positioned, I don't know if you're going to be able to buy product into them. There we were. We were able to get to that one. But the way these are placed, I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to easily pull product out of these. So what I would maybe advise is selling these and putting them back down if you want to use them in a different orientation. Now I said that this was the slurry point, but quite frankly, it might be. It might be the milk point because there's not a lot of triggers here at this area. We do produce milk. We do produce slurry. Now, this building can be sold, but I believe the farmhouse is permanently a part of this particular farm. So like I said, there's quite the combination of things at the various farms that you do not have the ability to ultimately sell. So as we're talking about, can the farms be customized? We are going to deduct some points because not all the farms items can be sold. So we're going to be maybe a little bit generous, and we're only going to deduct 1/4 of a point. So this is the second sell point on the map. Bit of a bale sell point. Now, with respect to buildings using the new texturing technique, I am going to give the map a full point there. The buildings that I did look at do appear to be using the new texturing technique, especially on the brickwork. And then most of them do have the new windows also that denote the new windowing technique. So here we have our BGA. And as I said, we can buy the BGA here. I believe it's $150,000. Let's just go ahead and check. Indeed it is. And if we own the BGA, we can sell it if we want. So let's make our way up and around the fuel depot. Then we have the sheep pasture. And then the final farm we're going to take a look at is the pig farm. So we have our fuel point back there. Again, no regard for my wheel. I've got a massive dead zone currently in it for whatever reason. So we have our sheep area. We can hold 100 sheep, and we have 10 sheep already in this pen if we buy this sheep area. We have our water trough. We have our food trough, and then we have our wool spawn point. Hopefully it doesn't get too far into the road and cause traffic problems. Like I apparently am causing traffic problems. And then our final playable farm is directly south of the sheep area and north of the starting farm. And this is a pig farm, so we have our sleep trigger. Here we have our food trough for our pigs. We have our slurry point for our pigs. We have our pig buy point. 300 pigs in this facility. And there you go. We got our straw trigger in here. We have our manure heap for our pigs. Decent shed for our machinery. We have a fuel tanker inside of this small shed. And the buildings on this farm can be sold, but again, a lot of the decorative elements are going to remain, like these flower beds, the curbing, the lamppost. Those are all going to remain here with the map. We have the picnic table, it stays, and the little garden shed stays. So again, we aren't able to completely wipe out an entire area. Now, with respect to our final scoring metric, player and interactive areas being clearly marked, we are going to give the map a full point there. Although in retrospect, I had kind of scored this map before I realized the shop didn't have the corner markers. So I think we're going to call an audible, if you will. Red 76. Red 76. And we're going to drop this score down to 3/4 of a point as well for trigger interactive areas being clearly marked. So that's going to give this map a score of 4.0 out of 5. Very respectable score nonetheless. Just a little bit of niggles here and there is ultimately what has really dropped this map down from a 5.0 to a 4.0. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to Terschelling. Is this a map that you are going to be playing? Are you into these Dutch style maps? Does it bother you that we have decorative elements and things scattered around the farms that are permanently a part of the map that we cannot get rid of? And until next time, happy farming!